Hi, this is a vlog about what's been going on. No one in the world is left out of this one. Everybody knows about COVID. I'm thinking of scenarios of exceptions. I'm sure that there are some children who are being uh, kind of protected from knowing the truth about the deaths and things like that. But everybody knows about COVID-19 coronavirus. So how that's affected me is we stayed open for a little while. My office where I provide counseling, and then eventually, because we were wrestling with whether counseling is an essential service, and then Oregon, the governor did issue a stay-at-home order. Um, and so that's when we transitioned to everyone working virtually. Anyway, how it's affecting me. So I'm definitely an introvert, homebody, Scorpio. I'm actually not anxious to videotape, even though I'm very critical of myself. If I, for instance, I people don't usually notice it as much as I do, but I stammer. So if I mispronounce a word, you'll notice me roll my eyes because I catch it, but I don't want to stop and make it a bigger deal. So, and I figure people can understand. So, um, but I'm actually phobic of the phone. And the reason is that I used to do on-call work a couple jobs ago. Um, and when in Hood River, I worked for the county mental health agency, and there's no psych hold room for the hospital. And so we would rotate through going down and interviewing people who are presenting with mental health concerns to evaluate whether or not they could be sent home with a safety plan or hospitalized. Um, when I first started doing that, we actually had pagers, so that dates me a little bit. And then it was cell phones that we carried that were work cell phones. And I think eventually they just had our actual numbers. Um, so during that time, it was really hard to get called at 4 in the morning or whatever time and be a slave to the phone when I felt vulnerable and tired and then going into the emergency rooms was intimidating. Not working with the clients, but working with the staff. Um, some were nice, but some had sort of, it's its own culture, just like I work in the schools, and the school, public schools system is its own culture. And you definitely are an outsider coming in, which is okay. I mean, in the school-based program, we're providing a service, but I don't work for the schools, and I will point that out to kids at times that I don't have an agenda of trying to make them behave because that's not my mandate. And so where was I going with that? Yeah, so I got phobic of the phone because basically if I wasn't on call, I didn't want the ringer on. And so I say phobic. It's not probably a full-blown phobia. It's an avoidance um, that has become entrenched as a habit. And I'm actually wanting to change that habit. But it's interesting that I am more avoidant of the phone than FaceTime now or video. It helps if I have earbuds. I really think that a piece of it is about hearing. I'm a visual person, and so if I'm just hearing, it cuts down on my ability to understand. And then my biggest pet peeve that I don't know how to navigate well is on phone calls, people generally speak over each other. Now, that happens on Zoom as well. But at least with Zoom, if two people are speaking at the same time, the other one can kind of go, with their body, oh yeah, I'm letting you speak, but I need to be in a queue. Let me talk soon. Um, Whereas if I say, hey, what did you just say? on the phone, a lot of times people don't repeat themselves. And it's like, sometimes I want to scream. Like, I didn't get that. I don't understand. And I guess that's how I'm feeling in some ways, is misunderstood, or um, just noticing areas where I am successful interacting socially, and areas where it's not that I'm unsuccessful, but I experience challenges, like we all do, but just becoming more aware of what my particular challenges are. Um, yeah, that's another vlog. So, um, mainly I am anxious. Like everyone is anxious. I'm not anxious 24/7 about the coronavirus. I am bracing myself for the blow that the number of deaths is going to take on our collective consciousness. Um, I am also bracing myself for. Um, I heard someone saying, "Assume that you have it and prevent spreading it from yourself." And so I'm bracing myself for someone I know or myself ending up in the hospital. And I've never been afraid of hospitals, but I think I would be afraid right now, because, and I grieve in advance and already for the people who are in hospitals alone, without being able to have their family members visit them. And I don't even want to say it, but the people who will die without a loved one with them. And I just send out prayers for that experience, and for many, many people to receive the services that they need to process that grief, and that we can come together to try to face that. Um, yeah, that's intense. So I'll leave it for there.